Hey guys, we are here with Moonbeam this afternoon. Moonbeam and I are working on her loose leash healing right now. We also just worked on some sit stays and placing inside before we came inside to take a little walk together. Excuse me. As you can see, she's doing really well with her loose leash healing. We're able to go with, very little zero pressure on the leash, which is exactly what we're looking for. Now, there's a few things I just wanted to point out so that you guys can make sure you continue on the right path with her at home. Um, Even though your dog isn't pulling you, right, it doesn't necessarily mean that they are paying attention. So just because they figured out I need to go the same pace as them doesn't mean that they're paying attention. Therefore, they aren't getting any mental stimulation if they're not, paying attention and realizing I need to focus on my owner. Now, if we are just going as handlers in a straight line, we're not giving our dogs any stimulation or giving them anything to think about. Therefore, we are the problem and we are the reason that they're not getting any mental stimulation. So I live in a cul-de-sac. So I live at the end, and I have this nice circle where I don't even have to leave my neighborhood. I can just walk around the circle, do zigzag patterns, do figure eights. I do squares. I do left turns. I do right turns. Then I'll go up the street and I'll make like zigzag patterns coming back. We'll go up towards Mount Gallant. We'll work towards, around cars, and then we can walk up the street. We have the middle school and the museum right up the street. So we have a lot of ways to keep working on her healing and making it a little bit more difficult each day by adding in new distractions. So making sure that you're doing things to keep her focusing on you is really important. Now also correcting behaviors just simply by doing either a pop or using her name or changing directions or speed or something like that is going to be really important to keep her focused on you. So like I was saying in the beginning, if we get her to go our pace, that's great. But if she's not paying attention, it's not quite a heel. It's just kind of she's walking at a good pace with you, right? So as soon as she does things like starts dropping her head to sniff at the ground, or like you see she is right now where she's looking at something else, I don't think there's anybody even outside. My neighbors were outside about 10 minutes ago, and she still like keeps looking over there like they're still there. Also, my cats have been out and everything. So when she sees a distraction, she's a hound. This is totally normal. This is what hounds were built for. They're going to be stuck on distraction. So giving her something else to think about is going to be how you are going to help her as a handler work through situations and get her to be better about not, staring and getting laser focused on a particular distraction. Say. Okay, so focusing on. Okay, so here. Good girl. Okay, so as soon as she gets just slightly ahead of me, right there, her nose is in front of me. That means she's leading, right? So again, she's going a nice speed, and we have that U, but she's still leading. Look, she's not even in frame anymore. That's how far ahead she is, but she's not pulling me, right? So you have to make sure that just because she's not pulling doesn't mean she's in a proper heel. Her nose should be at your heel or at the back of your knee so that when you make a left-hand turn, she doesn't get bumped into, okay? So heel. So I'm going to give myself some space. So right there, pops, because she wasn't paying attention. She was just going to zoom right past me. Now look what happens when I turn left. She's like all over the place, right? She's not paying attention. She's looking over there, right? So that now it's up to you to get her to focus on you. And you have three options. You have a full-on, okay, stop, get her attention, use spatial pressure, right? There you go. I have her attention now. You can also use food, you can use treats, anything like that. You have stop, you have pop, which is just a quick pop on the leash to say focus or pay attention, and you have change directions. So you can start zigzagging, change it up, make a left-hand turn so she gets bumped into. Don't cater to her when you make these left-hand turns and like, oh, come on, right? This isn't what we want to see. I want you to go, right? I want you to be in control of your walk. Your dog is walking with you. You're not, you're not walking where she wants to go and catering to her because, oh, wait, no, she's, right? Look how messy this is. But if I drop my leash and I walk with confidence, right? If I know where I'm going and I tell, no, you don't get to pass me every single time. It's kind of like there's an invisible fence there. And every time she gets ahead, I go, no. Right? Because now she's starting to understand that every time she hits this certain spot, she gets a correction. Now, if I have to do more than 2 or 3 corrections, see, I turned around and she didn't even notice. Look, she's like way gone. This isn't a heel at all, right? So I'm going to get her back into position, get her to focus again, and get us back in. Right, so she's a great, she's a great demonstration of how, just like I was saying, a dog can, she doesn't have to necessarily be a puller to not be focused on you and distracted. Okay, so keeping her focused on you while there's minimal distractions or no distractions. If she can't focus on you with no distractions, how is she going to be able to focus when a dog comes running towards you guys or is on leash and barking at her? She's not going to be able to focus on you at all, right? So you have to learn how to get her to pay attention to you when there's nothing going on. And then how do you up that, right? Usually I would say use treats, use hot dogs, use food. But you see all these pops that I'm doing? This is what I really wanted to show you, is that she has to learn every time she gets to these points of my box, this invisible box, she gets a correction. She has to learn where my invisible box is, or the corrections mean nothing. If they're not consistent about you showing her, no, every time you get here, 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 and here, good girl, then I tell you, no, you don't get to leave here by using a communication that she understands, a language she understands. Pressure. Heel. All right, so again, not focused on me, right? How do I get her to focus on me? Turn. Okay, because now she's forced to focus. She was like, oh, geez, I gotta pay attention. So I'm turning again. These are all left turns. Just doing a big left circle, basically. And actually, a left, square is even better because I want you to make these sharp left turns. Right, really just go for it. Just ready and turn. Right, she needs to get bumped into. If you cater to her and you're like, oh, I'm turning. Right, now she's stopping. She's like, what are we doing? Right, you have to have confidence in where you're going, or your dog's not going to be able to follow you. You have to be a leader. Right, so this looks nice. So this is the key I really want you to understand, is setting that box when she comes home. Don't hesitate to stop more than pop. It's important for her to know every time you get here, we're going to stop. And she's really, really good with pressure. She understands why is it turning on and how do I get it to turn off. She's really good with that. So hopefully over the next week she gets even stronger with as far as her understanding that she can't leave the box now that we're able to walk up the street further and we're adding in distractions. Heel. But all in all, she is doing fantastic. She's doing really good with all of her commands in the house. She is placing really well, placing with distractions, doing sit stays well. She's she doesn't love down. We're still working on down right now. But we will certainly get there. She just doesn't, she's just so confused by it, but that's okay. She's also doing good with weight. We're making progress with the excited peas in the crate. We've got, we're 50-50 as far as coming out now. But that's better than 100% of the time peeing, so yeah, so that's about it for right now. If you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me now or write anything down for the take-home lesson so that you don't forget. But yeah, hopefully we'll see you guys soon. Say bye, Mama. Bye, Daddy.